In honor of the Nets, right? Just talking about the previously incident of Kevin Durant. We gotta talk about some Blake Griffin, right? Some basketball lore for Blake Griffin, right? Because Blake Griffin is washed. Washed in the sense where the fall off of being this MVP candidate to now just a rotational role player, right? He's a wash. In Detroit when he was playing, he didn't look great at all. He was slow, like he was just like a jump shooter nowadays, right? Instead of just high flying act, of his athleticism, all these knee injuries and like late injuries that he had just took a toll on him. And now that he's on the Nets, everyone's thinking like, damn, dude, they got Blake Griffin. They got, who else they got now? They got LaMarcus Aldridge. Or they got who else they got now? They got like, I think that's about it so far. But Blake Griffin, right? Some basketball lore for Blake Griffin. Like, anyone remember when Blake Griffin had that incident of that equipment guy, right? I mean, y'all gotta remember when Blake Griffin basically grabbed his head and or neck, right, and pushed him down. Like, how when you mess around with some of your friends, like you do some sort of stuff like that. Like, he was trying to get all the pressure that he was sucking his Johnson, right? So basically, that gets caught on camera. A couple of days later, TMZ, breaking news, right? Blake Griffin breaks his hand punching that same equipment guy multiple times right at a restaurant, right? Now, Blake Griffin has always been kind of came off as this kind of douche dude, right? So the ego, the hubris is a little too high for him, right? I mean, the problem with Blake Griffin back in the day for Clippers was basically, if you look at the stat sheet, right, he puts up 38, 38, 5, and 8, right? Some stuff like that, right? But if you actually watch the game, majority of his numbers were from the first 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, he basically does nothing. He'll have 0 points, maybe 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He just gets phased out, right? That was the main criticism for Blake Griffin. He has all this ability and whatnot, but just the throughout expenditure and impact he didn't really have, right? That's why a lot of these dudes were punking out Blake Griffin because he was soft, right? I mean, remember those Grizzlies and Clippers playoff runs and matchups? You got Zach Randolph, Mark Gasol just bumping into him. And
as you see on this play, it is a foul. But Blake Griffin stops there. They both kind of go at it. I don't know what Zach's
There's a technical, though.
argument is on this play.
Technical on Randolph, as well as the personal.
Whatnot. He was getting into scuffles with Zach Randolph. And Zach Randolph was bullying DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin, right, in the paint. The Clippers have always been a finesse team, right? They're just front runners in a sense where they'll blow you out and they'll just mock you, make fun of you. But when it comes playoff time, right, they're just when it gets the physicality going up and less calls are going their way, it's meltdown city, right? Blake Griffin has always been that kind of douchebaggery dude who, it's all fun and games, right, where he's making fun of you, but if you retaliate, he gets a little butthurt, right? It's always been the case, right? I mean, I've had stories of, friends where they've actually met or they actually seen Blake Griffin, right? Maybe at the club, at night. They'll say, "What's up?" to Blake Griffin and stuff like that. And, Blake Griffin just brushes them off. He'll look at him do nothing. But, he gives all the attitudes you're kind of beneath him, kind of stuff like that, right? The I'm too upper class kind of thing. And, in a way, I guess, seeing from his point of view that, dude, I'm just trying to enjoy myself. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you didn't have to. You didn't have to tell the truth through your face like that much, right? You know, you can just like put a show for the fans, and then later on get into your limo or your ride, like, oh, dude, another one of these again, huh? I mean, that's why like when he got traded to Detroit, he was like, fuck, like that LA life, like all the publicity and media stuff. You didn't hear about Blake Griffin ever again when he went to Detroit, middle of nowhere, and. Dude, like, this guy couldn't handle whatever heat the equipment manager was throwing at him, right? They were supposedly best friends. There's him, DeAndre Jordan, and the equipment manager. But, you know, one might think that, like, were they really friends, or was he really the punching bag? And Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan were basically the best friends, and the guy was a third wheel, and they were just throwing jabs at him left and right. Like, it must have been way bad stuff that he threw at Blake Griffin. Probably call him a choker, probably call him a ginger, some sort of stuff, right? I mean, you kind of call him Canelo Alvarez. Like, dude, you punch harder. Like, Canelo punches harder than you and whatnot. I don't think the equipment manager even had bad of injuries. It's the fact that Blake Griffin broke his fist and was out for 4 weeks during their run for the playoffs, right? Because if I remember correctly, weren't they like what's it called? Trending up towards like the first seed? Was it the first seed or was it the 8th seed that time? Because I know that was like an incident where they played against the Spurs, I think. Didn't they play against the Spurs that year? And then they finally beat the Spurs. I might be getting that wrong. I mean, come on, dude. Blake Griffin has got to be the worst slam dunk, one of the worst slam dunk competition winners, right? That Kia endorsement, jumping off the Kia stuff, that was whack as hell, you know, Baron Davis and whatnot. Right? So now he's on the Nets, and dude, he's just huge. The attitude just shows up again, right? When his old team, when he was, was basically dogging his old team and whatnot. Like, what's going on here? Like, was it really that bad in Detroit? Like, you got Isaiah Stewart basically elbowing him, getting thrown on the game. He just getting to beef with all the Detroit Pistons. Dude, let them tank, bro. You're free. You're free already. I mean, you don't have to make a big spectacle of, all of it again. He's basically front running again, in the sense like how he was in the Clippers, right? When he got that alley-oop from James Harden. James Harden is carrying the Nets right now, right? He should have more consideration for MVP. I mean, Kevin Durant's been out for a bit. Kyrie Irving, he's a bipolar guy who just goes in and out of the lineup. So the chemistry is not really there. But at the same time, right, James Harden is doing what James Harden always does. He basically carries the team in the regular season and just burns out in the playoffs, right? But this time, he's not going to really burn out because, for one, the Nets know what the main goal is today. We've gone all in, right? And teams should go all in. I'm tired of these teams, look, for example, the Celtics, right? Like, Danny Ainge had a boatload of picks, I don't want to trade for Vucevic, even though he's, would fix a lot of our problems, our rebounding problems, our paint presence and whatnot, give us another way of scoring, right? He can spread the floor. Vucevic gives you 20 and 10 easy. But they never pulled the trigger, right? They ended up with Evan Fournier, right? Fournier, dude. Like, Fournier is good, but you finally made a move for Fournier. Like, come on, bro. Like, Kemba Walker right now, his knees is not really doing that great. So, what that team Celtics really needed was Chris Paul, right? If they got if they replaced Kemba Walker with Chris Paul, they would have way drastically improved that team. and it would have been a way different story. But he's doing his mark in Phoenix. But now, the East, the Nets run the East. And it's just that simple. Blake Griffin's going to turn up that douchebaggery once again. And I would like to see that. I'm tired of these refs, giving out texts and whatnot to random people. The NBA is trying to take too much emotion out of the game, right? I'm trying to see some douchebaggery, some posterizing dunks, some finger pointing, like ha ha ha, like Sean Kemp. I'm trying to see that kind of stuff, but no, those days are long gone.